Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing fine. You're okay. You're doing great. This is Silvio Bellabo as the E-Chaplain. Welcome to the E-Chaplain universe. And today we're continuing the 40 nails that will help you nail it. And before we start hammering on nail number 21, I want to remind you that we in the E-Chaplain universe help women and men to discover or rediscover dignity in their existence through simplicity towards a wonder. So that's check mark done. You are now aware once again that we are there to help men and women to discover and rediscover dignity into your existence through simplicity towards wonder. So today we're hammering on the nail number 21, which is of service. About 3 weeks ago, I asked people in my network what they when they heard the word Jesus, what came to mind, what crossed, what arose from their heart, and some people said of service. Jesus was of service, of course. So we'll talk about that a little later on. But what does it really mean to be of service? Did you know that you are of service, whether you want it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not? You are of service sometimes very often, sometimes not so much, depending on where you're at in your life. You are of service. You might not have time. You might have all the time you want, and you're still of service. But what does it mean to be of service? It is to give sometimes freely, sometimes you get paid, but it's a way of contributing to society that improves the lives of others and sometimes, quite often, your own life. But that's not the ultimate goal. I not asked, but yes, in 2011, show you an example. Sort of abstract example, but yet a concrete example. I was telling you that Jesus, when he lived, he was of service, which we'll get into. But even after he died, the Christian faith believes he resurrected. So we pray to God, Jesus, who was made, it's God and made from flesh, and returned to heaven with God. So that's that. Here we are in 2011. I was driving to Quebec City with my wife and going to the hospital for my third catheter ablation for second for a atrial fibrillation in 2011. I was driving, and at the time, I was going to the hospital at least once or twice a week to check my blood levels, my if my blood was thick or not, and to avoid blood clot buildups, so they wouldn't go over my brain and da da da. So, anyways, I was driving there, and I said to myself, I said to God, I didn't tell anything to my wife. I was only between me and God. God, I don't know, I'm tired of uh, taking those warfarin pills, those rat pills that uh, asked me to go to the hospital once or twice a week to get my blood levels checked. And I'd like to have some kind of miracle or medication or whatever that I could eat whatever I want and not eat like a rabbit and or no. I couldn't eat like a rabbit when warfarin. I couldn't eat lettuce and stuff like that. So, anyways, besides the point. So I get to the hospital, and the doctor sits beside me on my bed as I was waiting for my catheter ablation the day before the intervention, and he said, "Yeah, Silvio, Mr. Bellavo, I have good news, and I have a question for you. How would you like to switch medications as for your blood thinners, and it would be called a Xaralto, and you could eat whatever you want. You don't have to abstain to eat like a rabbit, like carrots and anything that thickens the blood. So I said, oh, yeah, sure, okay. And he didn't know I asked God or Jesus to for that kind of miracle, but it was a miracle for me. It was totally of service. So God, Jesus, he was of service through the doctor I met and for me and for my family as well. So, Jesus in his life, he said one thing that is really related to be of service. He says, I'm here to be not to be served, but to serve. Yeah, that guy in his 30s told that to his disciples before he was going to die on a cross. And so it was the Last Supper, and he told that, or around that time, he told that to the people who followed him and his disciples, his apostles. Excuse me. And so, what did he do to show that he was of service to them? He washed their feet. Why did he wash their feet? Well, it's quite simple. They were always walking in sandals, and they had to wash their feet to go to the perfect dining table. So that's what he did to them and for them. So how about you? Maybe you are often of service. Maybe you're not. Maybe you help others and you don't believe you're helping others. I know people I can count on and they are of service like that. Just like that. And I can call them and say, look, I need this. Can you help? And they're there just like that in a click of a finger. There are some other people, well, no, I can't today. Well, I'll think about it. Well, what do you need? They ask a zillion questions. And I said, oh, okay, I know. I know I can't count on that person to be of service to me or others. So I've got family members, I got friends who I can really, really count on. And I'm sure that you who is listening to me live or in replay, you are that person that people can count on. The question is, can you count on yourself? Being of service doesn't always mean to be charitable to others. It can be charitable to yourself. You might say, well, I'm not of service, so not at all. I'm not believing God, so I'm not of service. A wrong answer. If you volunteer for others, if you help your neighbor, if you help an organization, if you help your community, if you help people at work freely, and even if you get paid for it, you're still of service. You provide an action to society, to your family, to your friends, to your parents, to your wife, to your children. You get my point. You are of service whether you like it or not, every day. Unless you're a person, well, I'm only thinking of myself and I'll bomb a country. That's not really of service. So, how are you going to be of service? How are we going to be of service today? I got my own thing to be of service for others. I have to study. Yeah, that's my way of being service to others today. Is I have to study uh, marketing, management, and in the long run, it will help society. Will help me. Will help my community. No matter what you do, has a ripple effect. So let's make sure that our actions today are the nails of being of service to others and to ourselves. On that note, see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Thank you for following me and knocking on those nails together. Again, this was nail number 21 of service. Bye for now and see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Bye bye.